Dear participants, thank you for giving UNESCO an opportunity to present to you at this exceptional Leadership Dialogue 3. UNESCO welcomes the convening of Stockholm+50 International Summit, and we at UNESCO would like to reaffirm our commitment to the acceleration of knowledge and know-how preservation and access to all. And it is in this regard that the UNESCO recommendation on open science was adopted by the 193 member states in November 2021. The UNESCO recommendation on open science defines our shared values and principles to bring all citizens around the world closer to science and to facilitate the production and dissemination of scientific knowledge. We rely on the unique and interdisciplinary mandate within the UN system. UNESCO is fully committed to preserve nature as a source of knowledge, identity, inspiration, and culture. The 2003 Convention for Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage is an international community's only binding intergovernmental instrument tasked with safeguarding living heritage and ensuring its transmission to future generations. This is ratified by 180 countries, and the contribution of local and indigenous knowledge and know-how to sustainable development plays an essential role in the conservation of biodiversity and in its restoration and sustainable management of natural resources. I would therefore like to reaffirm that UNESCO is committed to the coming UN decades of ocean science for sustainable development and for ecosystem restoration. UNESCO is one of the 4 institutional partners of the Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services, along with FAO, UNDP, and UNEP. UNESCO is also home to the local indigenous knowledge systems, the LINKS program, and UNESCO hosts the technical support unit of the IPBES Working Group on Local Indigenous Knowledge Systems. It is critical for us that we must build a dialogue among indigenous knowledge holders, natural and social scientists, resource managers, decision makers, in order to have an active and equitable role for local communities in resource governance. Finally, UNESCO is committed to fully support the implementation of the Convention on Biological Diversity post-2020, as well as the 2050 vision for biodiversity through the effective conservation and restoration of biodiversity through all UNESCO's designated sites, Biosphere Reserve, cultural heritage sites, natural heritage sites, and the UNESCO geoparks. Conserving our biodiversity is crucially important, but we cannot focus on biodiversity in just a few protected areas. Protecting 30% of the planet will be futile if the remaining 70% is still being destroyed. Dear participants, it's time to achieve 100% reconciliation between all humans and the living. I thank you for your attention.